Something shifted the moment you opened this, not gradually, not as a slow realization, as a fact that was already true before your finger touched the screen. Someone is sitting in silence right now, not the comfortable kind, not the chosen kind, and your name just broke through every layer of noise they built to keep it out. This is not a random Sunday. April 13th does not carry the same frequency as any other day this week, and some part of you already sensed that before I said it. The weekend strips everything away. The armor comes down, the schedule disappears, and what remains is only what is real. You didn't find this by accident. You found it because something in you is tracking a signal that has not gone quiet, and that signal is not your imagination. If you've been checking your phone more than usual today, if their name has surfaced in places that made no sense, if you woke at an odd hour and couldn't shake a feeling you couldn't name, like this video, subscribe and comment, "I feel this," right now. Not for the algorithm, for your own energetic field. Marking your presence here on this specific Sunday is how you confirm to yourself that what you are sensing is real and worth trusting. Now let's talk about what is actually happening to them today. April 13th is a Sunday, and that matters more than it sounds. Weekdays have structure. Structure creates noise. Noise suppresses what cannot be processed yet. Grief, longing, the specific ache of an absence that never fully made sense. Weekdays give people meetings, errands, the quiet mercy of routine, but weekends collapse the structure entirely. And when the structure falls, what rises is everything that was waiting underneath it. This is what the loneliness portal is. Not sadness in general, not a bad mood or a melancholy afternoon. The unavoidable awareness of a specific absence, the kind that has a face, a voice, a shape. Your shape. Loneliness is generic. Missing someone is not. Missing someone means the mind keeps returning to a particular person, the way a tongue returns to a broken tooth, involuntarily, repeatedly, with the full recognition that something is wrong and unfixed. You may have noticed they have gone unusually quiet on social media today, or the opposite, overposting in a way that reads more like filling space than sharing joy. You may have sensed them moving through old photos, pausing on something that belonged to a time when you were still woven into their daily life. This is the portal opening. This is what April 13 does. But why you specifically? That is where this gets genuinely interesting. The reason it is, you isn't arbitrary. When you are present in someone's life, really present, not just physically nearby but energetically threaded into their daily rhythm, you left something behind when you left. Not a memory, something more structural than that. You left a shape, a specific shape carved into the interior of their daily experience by the pattern of your presence, the specific frequency of you, and it fits only you. Generic absence is uncomfortable. Your specific absence is unbearable in a way they did not anticipate and still cannot fully explain to themselves. You may have picked up on the moment they reached for their phone to text you and stopped. The moment they laughed at something, a song, a stupid joke, a turn of phrase, and felt the reflex to share it with you before they remembered that path was currently closed. The moment they started typing and deleted every word without sending. The moment they said your name out loud to no one, just to hear how it felt in the air. These are not coincidences. These are not projections. These are the micro-ruptures that happen when someone tries to live inside a day as though a piece of the architecture is still intact, and it isn't. You didn't just leave their life. You left a shape that their life keeps quietly, persistently bumping into, and they have no idea how to close it. Here is why they can't. April 13 carries a specific energetic signature that goes beyond the simple mechanics of a Sunday. 4 + 1 + 3 = 8, the infinity loop, the symbol of unfinished cycles, the number that does not resolve but returns and returns. Energetically, this date functions as a mirror pointed directly at whatever has been left incomplete. And Sunday, the day of the sun, the day of illumination, does not allow suppressed things to remain suppressed. The combination is not subtle. Unfinished emotional cycles don't just surface today. They become visible in a way that makes continued avoidance not just uncomfortable, but structurally impossible. Think of it this way. They have been managing the feeling of your absence the way someone manages a draft in a room, by keeping moving, staying busy, never sitting still long enough to feel the cold. But today, they are sitting still. Today, there is nowhere to be. Today, the draft is all there is, quiet, still, and unavoidable. You may have already sensed their restlessness even across the distance, a shift in energy you couldn't source, a mood that changed without external cause, an inability to settle into the simple pleasures a Sunday is supposed to offer. Comparing everyone around them to you and finding everyone lacking in a way they won't say out loud. Their silence is not indifference. It is avoidance of what they see clearly when the room goes quiet, and the room has been quiet all day. Not silence because they forgot, silence because remembering is too loud. So what does this mean for what happens next between you two? What you are watching from the outside is an internal war entering its final phase. There are two forces in conflict right now, pride and feeling. Pride says don't reach out, don't show your hand, maintain the posture of someone who has moved on. Feeling says this is unbearable and you know exactly why. Today, under this Sunday, under this portal, under the unfinished cycle that 4 + 1 + 3 demands, feeling is winning. Not dramatically, not in a way they will announce, but you may have already sensed it. You may have felt a random memory of them surface today with unusual clarity and warmth. You may have noticed an unexplained mood shift in yourself, lighter for a moment, or heavier, or both in alternation, like your system is registering a change in a shared field. You may have sensed their energy the way you sense weather before it changes, not with your eyes but with something older and more reliable in you. This is not projection, this is attunement. You are tuned to a real signal, and the signal is moving. They have checked your profile without interacting. They have kept the old photos they told themselves they deleted. They have reached out, started to reach out, more than once, and pulled back at the last moment. Not because they don't feel it. They're not silent because they don't feel it. They are silent because they feel it too much and haven't yet found the threshold where that stops being a reason to retreat. Some connections don't dissolve. They wait. This is one of those connections, and what you are sensing is not the end of it. It is the pressure before movement. This is not a momentary blip. This is a turning point, and understanding the difference changes what you do with the next 48 to 72 hours. Portals open and they close. April 13th is an opening, not a guarantee, and the window that follows this Sunday carries a specific weight that cannot be replicated later in the week. What happens in this window, not externally, not through gestures or messages, but internally, energetically, will shape the next phase of this connection. And your role is not to chase, not to reach in a way that depletes your own signal. Your role is to hold your frequency. Holding your frequency means staying present to yourself, not monitoring their social media for movement, not rehearsing conversations in your head, not cycling through the same loop of hope and doubt until you exhaust yourself into numbness. It means being someone who knows what they know and doesn't need external confirmation to stay grounded in that knowing. You may have felt the pull to reach out yourself today, a specific, clean impulse that felt less like desperation and more like recognition. You may have sensed a shift in the energy of the connection itself, like a pressure equalizing, like something static beginning to move. Trust it without rushing it. The portal doesn't reward urgency, it rewards clarity. Before we get to what to actually do, there is something you need to release first. The intensity you feel right now is not a problem. It is not evidence of obsession. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you or that you have lost perspective. It is energetic data. Information your system is processing about a real signal coming from a real source. Not obsession, but attunement, and the difference between the two is everything. Obsession is about what you want. Attunement is about what is true. What you are experiencing is the latter. You may have felt their energy shift throughout this day, lifting briefly in the afternoon or growing heavier toward evening as the Sunday emptiness sets in. You may have known at certain moments that they were online without checking. You may have sensed their specific mood in real time, the way you read the emotional weather of someone you know deeply even across distance. You may have woken in the early hours this week with a feeling you couldn't shake. Not fear exactly, not longing exactly, but a knowing. 5, 6, 7 distinct moments where the signal came through without invitation. This is not your imagination. This is their unprocessed reality arriving in your field because it has nowhere else to go. Not weakness for waiting, certainty that doesn't need to chase, and the fear underneath everything. What if I'm wrong? Wrong about what, exactly? The feeling is real. The attunement is real. The outcome belongs to choices not yet made, but the signal itself is not imagined. You are allowed to know what you know. Now, here is what this Sunday is actually building toward. The silence between you has never been absence. This is the central thing. It has been pressure, building. Every day that has passed without direct contact has not been a day of nothing. It has been a day of accumulation. The void they feel is not a neutral space. It is a charged space filling with everything they have not allowed themselves to say, feel, or face. And today, under the full weight of this portal, under the illumination that Sunday carries and the unfinished cycle that April 13th demands, they are being forced to feel the full cost of it. The void they created cannot close because they have never truly faced what leaving you, or retreating from you, actually cost them. Not distraction, not distance, not time has worked. The shape you left doesn't respond to substitutes. Today that fact is not abstract. Today it is sitting in the room with them, quiet, still, and unavoidable. Their loneliness today is not separate from you. It is you, in your absence. This is the portal's gift. Not resolution, but honesty. Not reunion, but reckoning. They are being forced to feel it fully, and feeling it fully is the beginning of movement. The pressure before the shift, the silence before the word. What does someone do with a void they created themselves? They sit in it, and eventually they face it. You are not waiting because you are weak. You are waiting because you know. You know something they are only now, today, being forced to acknowledge, that this connection did not end. It paused at the worst possible point for them. The pause has been louder than anything that came after it. Two people, feeling the same weight from opposite sides of the same silence. Your name rising in their mind at the same hour you are listening to this. That is not nothing. That is everything. You entered this uncertain. You are leaving it grounded. Not certain of the outcome, the future belongs to choices not yet made by either of you. But certain of what is true right now. The feeling is not past tense. The void you left has a specific shape only you can fill, and the portal that opened today did not open without purpose. In the next 48 hours, your 3 energetic actions are these. Stay present to yourself, not to them. Your own energy is the field you tend. Release the need for their external confirmation as proof that the signal is real, because you already have the proof. And hold the quality of your presence the way you would hold something alive and worth protecting, because that presence is exactly what the connection is responding to. The week ahead carries what Sunday began. The shift that started today does not close when the portal closes. It continues in movements, in moments, in decisions belonging to a sequence already in motion. You were right to trust what you felt. You are not one of many. You are the specific one. And their silence is not an answer. It is a question they are finally running out of ways to avoid. If this reached you where you actually live, like this video, subscribe to this channel and comment "Portal Open." Not for the algorithm. To seal what you received today, to claim in your own words that you felt it and you are ready for what comes after the portal closes. Click the next video on your screen. This is where it continues.